It's finally July, which means that we're right around the corner from the best day of the year, the 4th of July. So happy birthday, America. Here's to a quarter century more of great ones. So to celebrate the US of A, I've decided to look back at the 10 greatest patriotic paint schemes in NASCAR history. So without further ado, let's just jump right on in it. At number 10, we have the NASCAR online community's favorite meme driver, Michael WALTRIP.
Mikey.
And for his paint scheme, we have Michael Waltrip's 2001 Patriotic paint scheme. This scheme is most remembered for being the one that Mikey was in as he pushed Dale Earnhardt Jr. across the line to win the 2001 Pepsi 400. While that was a feel-good moment, the scheme overall gets overlooked because of the race it's associated with. But this scheme on its own is absolutely beautiful to look at. The blue shines under the lights with a timeless metallic glow. The red and white stripes from the American flag on the side replacing the DEI stripes was a great addition as well, and the stars are just the greatest touch as well. At number 9, we have Dale Earnhardt's 1996 Atlanta Olympics red, white, and blue scheme. This is the one that really started up the trend of flag-styled schemes. What I like about this scheme is how simple it is. The front third of the car is blue, with the stars on the front bumper and over the wheels and all around the contingencies. The red stripes are on the side, wrap around the white backdrop, as well as the back end of the car. I also really like the red rear spoiler. It really fits well. The silver numbers bring it all together. At number 8, we have Greg Biffle's 2005 Post-it car. This car really is one that seems to have no one remembering it. The front is white and it really shines, especially during day races when it's in the hot sun. The red stripes also make the signature Greg Biffle neon yellow 16s pop out. The blue in the back is punctuated by the stars. And the best part to me though is the light blue that washes into the white and wraps upwards onto the roof of the car as well. It's a truly underrated scheme. At number 7, we have Jeff Gordon's 2010 Coke 600 Patriotic paint scheme. This is another paint scheme that everyone seems to have forgotten about over time. The base of this DuPont scheme is a relatively light blue paint. This in contrast of its almost navy blue that Gordon had on his cars at that time. The signature Gordon flames were filled with red and white stripes as well. And the front of the car had stars as well as stars on the hood and surrounding the red DuPont logo. The neon yellow Hendrick numbers also explode to the eye as well. For number 6, let's stick with Hendrick Motorsports. Actually, let's stick with the year 2010, and let's stick with the same race, the 2010 Coke 600. Let's look at Dale Earnhardt Jr.'s American Flag Memorial Day paint scheme. This is about as American as it can get. What I love about this scheme is how the flag looks like a real American flag. It's almost like they just wrapped a flag around it and put it on the car. Overall, the scheme is quite dark, which actually really makes the white National Guard decals on the side and hood pop out. The bright red 88s also contrast well with the dark scheme. Moving on to number 5, we have Bubba Wallace's Warthog Air Force car. I could be short with this and just describe this scheme with one word: badass. But in more detail, the gray-looking paint scheme really looks like an old World War II bomber, and it's really sold with the decals of panels screwed into position. The old school 43 is fitting for such an old school paint scheme. But the part that we all notice first is the beautiful teeth on the front of the car. Made to look like the old nose art from the aforementioned bombers, it is absolutely drenched in history. The part that isn't talked about much though is how the mouth and teeth look so good and mean with the Camaro body. The headlights of the Camaro already make Chevrolets look mean, but with the front teeth, this makes Bubba Wallace's car look almost like a monster that is not to be messed with. At number 4, we have Dale Earnhardt Jr.'s 2007 Stars and Stripes scheme that he raced in the 2007 Pepsi 400. This scheme may be the most popular patriotic paint scheme of the NASCAR fandom, and it's easy to see why this is. To start with, this is a car driven by Dale Earnhardt Jr., and there really isn't much that is more American than an Earnhardt at Daytona. The blue on the front is huge in contrast to the normal red. Stars on the front and over the wheels are a great touch as well. Where the scheme really shines is across the sides of the car, as well as the back half of the scheme, as it has the white base color drenched with red star-spangled stripes down the sides. These replace the DEIEs down the sides while also looking great with the white 8s over it. Also, there's a great touch on the back with the blue spoiler. At number 3, we have Mark Martin's 2000 Patriotic Valvoline paint scheme. The red, white, and blue Valvoline scheme that Martin already ran was pretty good in patriotism rankings on its own way. So this scheme almost looks like a normal Valvoline scheme in its own right. The front being white and the top being blue is normal, but a great normal. But once again, this scheme shines with what is done down the sides of the car. Once again, stripes are used down the side that fit perfectly with Martin's 6 and the said 6's background. The sideways facing stars also make this scheme unique as well. Really, it's the overall simplicity of this scheme that makes it such a good overall paint job, even if the stripes do kind of look like a Barbasol can. At the runner-up spot, we have Jimmie Johnson's 2014 Patriotic Low scheme that he ran at that year's running of the Coke 600. This scheme is not only the best patriotic scheme in the Gen 6 era, but also maybe the best scheme of this generation as well. This scheme is split into 3 main colors: blue, red, and white. I know, shocking. But what I really enjoy about this scheme is the fact that it's all created using stars. The white stars go all the way down the sides of the car from the front, and the blue and the red portions are created by ending with stars as well. The way that these are set up makes the car look like it's a blur going by, and this is fitting as Jimmie Johnson ended up winning this race. Top it all off with the bold neon yellow 48s, and you have patriotic gold. Now, before we look at the best patriotic scheme in NASCAR history, let's see those who just missed the top 10 cut and our honorable mentions. Now at number 1, we have a patriotic scheme with a purpose, created to honor lost Americans, born from tragedy. This is Ken Schrader's 2001 American flag Pontiac, which was raced after the terrorist attacks on September 11th. In my opinion, this scheme is the pinnacle of patriotic NASCAR paint schemes. While simple, it's extremely effective. All sponsors except for a few contingencies are removed from the car. The normal light blue 36 is switched to white, and the stripes down the sides and top stick out, and the blue section on the right front is filled with stars, finishing off the great scheme. This was such an effective scheme that was actually used for the 10-year anniversary of 9/11 at Richmond by Kyle Busch. The scheme looks just as good in 2011 as it did before, a testament to the scheme's timelessness. But with this being all said, I want to pass this topic off to you. What are your favorite patriotic NASCAR paint schemes? Give me your favorite 10 in the comments down below. And while you're at it, leave a like on this video and subscribe to my channel for more great NASCAR content. And speaking of great NASCAR content, tune in to Eric Estep's channel later today. We will be joined by our guest Slapshoes as well as Mark Martin. It's going to be a great show, so make sure you're there. And until then, have a good one.